Hi, my name is Kelly, and this is Kyle, and we're with GOB Retail, talking about this week in comics. And of course, it's an exciting week in comics because we're coming up on Free Comic Book Day this Saturday. And if you listened to last week's video, that date might be very confusing for you because I butchered it like 3 times. But this coming Saturday is in fact Free Comic Book Day. We're going to be doing cool sales and specials to get free comics, so make sure you stop on in and check it out. But first up this week, we have Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. This is the comic adaptation to the film that came out December of last year. December. Yeah. Movie was great. I loved it anyway.
Yeah, lots of fun.
That's fun. And you wanted to talk about this one mainly because, unlike the last comic adaptation, this one isn't garbage.
Yeah, the last one was a bit disappointing for me because it didn't really bring anything new to the story, and the art wasn't particularly noteworthy.
Yeah, you mentioned that it's Rey's first time appearing in comics. Maybe she could get a decent drawing of her.
Yeah, and it just didn't. There wasn't any real action or emphasis to making the panels work the way I just felt really underwhelmed. This one, however, the art is very nice. And more importantly, it brings something a little bit new to the story that if you're just reading the novelization or just watching the film itself, you're not necessarily going to get. It fleshes out small little bits of the story that are kind of left unsaid in the film itself. So it actually works as a really nice but unnecessary addendum to the movie. So it's like you're not going to miss anything, but you're going to get something a little bit extra and enrich your experience. So I think this is actually a good adaptation series that's worth picking up if you liked the film. And if you're a Star Wars fan, of course.
Next up, also from Marvel, we have Secret Empire #1, a series that has divided the cast here as much as it has divided the cast in the Marvel Universe. How'd you like that?
That was pretty good.
How good was that?
That was pretty good.
So yeah, Secret Empire #1 picks up where Zero has left off, probably about a month or so after. I don't know exactly what the time period, but some time has passed since Zero left off and since Captain America betrayed everyone and let Hydra basically take over the United States.
He's a Nazi.
He's a Hydra agent. I guess that's pretty much the same thing. Yeah, it's just about. It's pretty good though. It picks up following a couple different stories. One of them following Steve himself and kind of dealing with trying to run America at this point because he's now the supreme leader. And to be fair, a lot of the things that Hydra does, like crime has now plummeted. Researching like medicine is like through the roof. Like lots of good things are happening, but it's a police state. It's very dystopian at the same time. So it's kind of always that ongoing.
So Marvel, you had Nazis take over the country and some things are running well.
Yeah, a couple things. I mean,
that's a real good message to put out there. So tell me more about the sport.
You can tell who on the cast did not care for the series or for the concept even.
I haven't read it yet. The concept is a little bit disturbing. Yeah.
That's fair enough. And beyond that, you have another story picking up with a character who has basically received files stolen from Hydra that will explain kind of like what actually happened and how to fix it. And he's trying to get that to the surviving members of the Avengers, for as few of them are left. They're basically all hiding out in a little dugout outside of Las Vegas. So,
I see.
Yeah.
So this is really setting up for them, hopefully, to reboot yet again the Marvel Universe.
Probably. They've already mentioned, the whole reason this happened was, in this story arc anyway, the Allies were going to lose World War II, and they discovered the Cosmic Cube and used that to rewrite the way the end of the story was. And the Hydra operatives who were still around were able to use some form of magic to make it not affect Steve Rogers so that he could be a Hydra plant throughout time. So that's basically where the story is picked up. It's very divisive. I think the art in it's pretty solid. I think the writing in it's pretty solid. But you do have to, of course, be able to accept that, yeah, Captain America is a member of Hydra. If that puts you off, you're probably not going to like this.
No, I know I've complained about that and razzed you about it a little
yeah.
But what actually disturbs me is you saying that they have a Nazi organization controlling America. And
they do.
Things are running well. That's a little bit like a bad message.
I don't want to say things are running well. I just there are aspects of things that are running, very well, as you would have in a police state.
Well, I'll have to actually thumb through it.
Yeah. All right. Up next, we have, again from Marvel, holy cow, 3 in one day. We have Guardians of the Galaxy Mother Entropy. One of the many new takes on Guardians of the Galaxy is launching this week. Gee, I wonder why.
Yeah, this week I think that there's one of those little talkies going to the cinema. And
Yes, there's a movie coming out.
yeah, and I think that the kids are really gonna like it.
Yeah,
so get your popcorn. But there's
two-
7,000 number ones of different series coming out this week for Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right, there's 3 actually. 2 of them, we have the all-new Guardians of the Galaxy, which will be an ongoing series, and we have, I believe it's, this one is the other ongoing series. There's a third one that is a one-shot coming out.
This one excited me because of the name up in that top corner, Jim Starlin. Jim, if you're listening, we love you. Jim Starlin basically created all of the wonderful cosmology of the Marvel Universe after Jack Kirby. So the Infinity Gauntlet, Thanos, all that. Thank you, Jim Starlin. A Detroit boy as well. He doesn't live here anymore, though.
Oh.
We love Jim Starlin, and him handling the Guardians of the Galaxy is going to be pretty fun.
Nice.
He always writes solid work.
Up next, from Image Comics, we have Extremity, number 3.
Trace.
Number Trace.
It's a fun series. The art in this is very nice. Good sci-fi story. I don't know if we've talked about this one before.
We have not.
But I've been following this since the beginning. I kept seeing the cover at the shop, and I was like, I like this, I like this, I like this. And I picked it up, and I bought it, and I really liked it. It's a revenge story, essentially. Our protagonist had her hand removed by a warring sort of sci-fi tribe. They came in. She's her tribe's artist. This happens in issue 1, and they just hack her hand off. So she suddenly basically loses, both physically and existentially, her purpose.
Oh.
By the end of the first issue, she's basically gotten her first taste of revenge. By the end of the second issue, we see members of the rival tribe now getting a chance at revenge. This is where the third issue opens up. This is a really wonderful tale that is being told in a nice, fast-paced sort of way. That you feel like you're just dropped into a world without being confused.
Yeah.
So I find myself really enjoying this artistically and storyline-wise. It's one of those ones that has enough complexity to keep you intrigued and enough simplicity to just pick it up and go.
Nice.
So it's fun. It's a good series.
And last but not least, from DC. Oh, no, I'm sorry. We got a couple more coming up here. We have DC, we have Bane Conquest. Now, I saw this title coming in, and my first thought was, wow, we've gone through, like of the 20 Batman books out in this run so far, 12 of them focused on Bane.
Oh, if you thought that was too much Bane, your punishment must be more severe.
Jeez. You adopted the darkness.
There
Anyway.
would be no, there would be no Hardy voiceover for this particular comic, though.
No. But you were excited when you saw who was writing this Bane piece.
Yeah, everyone's talking about this one because Chuck Dixon, he's back. He's writing some Batman. He did a really nice run on Batman throughout the 90s, if I recall. He might have had some 80s touch to it, but he created Bane. So we have the original creator coming back and doing, I believe it's going to be a 12-issue series.
Yep.
So we're going to get a year's worth of an interesting Bane tale by the original author, really getting back into the character's head. Bane was written best by Dixon, really.
Yeah.
And so to see him writing again is more than enough reason for me to pick up the book sight unseen.
Well, and Bane's always such an interesting character.
Except
So
for
often.
Batman and Robin.
Well, yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Except for in Batman and Robin, where you do what you don't want to do with Bane, you just make him a brainless. An oaf. Whereas Bane is actually brilliant.
Totally brilliant.
Yeah. So there's a lot of interesting things you can do with that, and actually the Batman run, currently going the Rebirth story arc, really handled Bane well and made him an awesome villain, and really, like, Batman, it shows the respect he has for Bane as a villain. Like, when he realizes he's gonna have to go to Santa Prisca and fight Bane, he's like, nope, we're gonna need help. That's not happening. So it's nice when even Batman kind of has to recognize, like, yeah, you're tough.
Yeah. So it'll be cool to see Chuck Dixon doing it again.
Mm-hmm. And now, last but not least, we have a graphic novel that we got in this week. We've got Volume 1 of Wonder Woman by George Perez. And as you were informing me earlier, Wonder Woman, there's very little middle ground. You're either doing Wonder Woman very well or you're doing Wonder Woman very badly.
Yeah, Wonder Woman has had a flip-flop of authors over the years who have done some really bad things and some really wonderful things. George Perez, along with Len Wein, co-creator of Swamp Thing, and so on and so forth, over the first few years of this 80s run, did some of the best Wonder Woman you'll ever read or see. Perez, the mind behind Crisis on Infinite Earths, in a lot of ways. Perez redefined much of DC in the 80s, and Perez is a phenomenal artist on top of which. Just timeless work, really good clean line work. But George recently had a heart issue. He was hospitalized. He's recovering, so get well, George. He did some really nice work.
It is really good, yeah.
They are collecting it. They're collecting his phenomenal run from the mid-'80s in a series of trade paperbacks here. So you can get them at a fairly affordable rate. I highly recommend this if you're a fan of Wonder Woman or if you want a good jumping in point to see what all the fuss has been about.
Especially with the movie next month, right?
Yeah, oh, is that next month already? Wow, yeah, pick that up. It's good stuff.
All right, so that's going to be it for Comics from this week. Once again, we want to remind you Free Comic Book Day is this Saturday, so make sure you stop in, grab your free comics. We'll be having some sales and specials going on. Those will be getting announced on Friday, so if you're on a rewards program, make sure you're keeping an eye out on your email where we will announce all of our specials that we're doing for Free Comic Book Day this Friday. Outside of that, he's Kyle, I'm Callie, and we'll see you guys next week.
Excelsior. I just wanted to steal that.
I just wanted to say Excelsior.